In this session, we're going to go over the wall that we created. I'm just temporarily going to turn off this layer so it makes it easy for us to see the wall, hide element. So here, the taller rectangle is happening around here. So I want to just wrap it up, and this is my interior, and I want to wrap it up. Notice how I didn't fuss about the length of my wall. I basically wanted to make sure that the edge of the gypsum wallboard matches this. So one of the first things that I want to do is actually go to architecture, and I like to go to wall, and I'm going to make that parapet stone wall go from there to there, and then look very close, and say, oops, it's the opposite way. Not a big deal. Don't make a big wall so you have to look for this arrow. Just make a short wall. Flip it. After you flip it, you move it. Okay, so don't fuss about it too much. So now I say, now my gypsum wallboard is there. Is this the right one? So let's double check it and say it's the parapet stone wall. It's not the one that I wanted. Nazi, get rid of it. So I get rid of it. I go, okay, let's do another wall. Do the right wall. It was the stacked wall. So I have to open it up, be patient, go all the way at the bottom. I made a stacked wall, and I go like this. All right. Now again, it's flipped. So I pick my wall, and I flip it. Okay. So now I'm going to move it because that's my stone area. Now I'm going to move the wall, and then when I look really close, I should be able to see that edge, because when I look at it, right now it doesn't show me the edge of the wall, and I say, oh, what is that? That's my foundation. So move it again from here to here, then look very close and see if you can actually see it in a different way. So I'm going to go wireframe for a second and see if I can actually see this in cross section. So let's double check. That doesn't show me shaded colors. It's right here. So when I look at this one, I actually saw all of that, and I go, wait a minute, there's something goofy about this. So I want this wall to match exactly like that. So rather than shuffling this back and forth and say, what's wrong with this? As I say, it's a stack wall, but slightly modified over here. So I'm going to pick this one, click match, pick this one. Make sure you pick that one first, then pick this one. So one more time. Pick that one, brush this one to match that. All right. Now I can look close and go, I can see the gypsum wallboard now. So now I can move it properly, move from that edge to this edge. Now I've got this perfect combination. Now I can chamfer it, and it should chamfer nicely like that. So the same thing on this side. I'm going to repeat the same thing so that we get comfortable with it. So I'm going to go architecture. I'm going to go wall. And this time I'm just going to pick any wall. Okay. So I'm just going to pick a skinny, generic 8-inch wall. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it so it looks like that. Then I'm going to pick this one, match that one, match it, and now I go, wait a minute, it flipped it again. My stone is on the wrong side because I went up, down, okay? So I flip my wall, that works, move it from this junction back to here, perfect shape. Now I'm going to chamfer it, chamfer this one, and that one. You see how the coloring really helps me to see the layers and match it. When everything is gray, it's much harder to work. Then I'm going to get back here, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to repeat it. So again, architecture, wall, whatever is my wall, I'm going to go like this. Doesn't matter. Pick it, flip it. I didn't even have to flip it because I'm going to modify it again. And then you say, Nazi, this is an interior wall. And I say, yeah, it's an interior wall, but I tell you what, the top of it is going to have to match this. So I'm going to actually cut the bottom of this, and and it may not be there, and I put it actually in the wrong place. So I say, let's just first match this wall with that. So pick this wall, match it, this one with that one. Okay. Then I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to move it. I'm going to move, now so get your act together. I'm going to first flip it. Now see, here we go. Flip it. Then I'm going to move it move this item from here. And I'm going to put it here. Nope. Move it a little bit further. Here. Okay. That looks better. Well, sort of. And I go, really, my stud wall is over here, so I want to move my stud wall so my stud wall is aligned with that. Because even my interior walls are going to be right along here, so the exterior is going to vary, so I'm fine. So watch what I did. I matched my stud wall in that area. I need to move it just a little bit more from here to there. So here's my interior gypsum wall board. My stud wall is within that zone. I'm in good shape. I knew this area was fuzzy anyway. And watch, the fuzziness has to do with the outer layer of stone. So now I'm going to do the same thing. This one, match it. I'm sorry. Go here. Honestly, pick the right line. Keeps picking the wrong one, so I apologize. Back here, make sure I match that. So I'm in good shape. Then I come around here and I say, I like to actually close this one with that. So that's my tall section. And I know there's a jag that's happening over here, and I've got a sort of an interior-exterior wall that's happening here that goes jagged over there. So I'm going to do another funny wall. It doesn't matter, any kind of wall, architecture wall. Just going to go here and here and here and here. Later on, I'm going to just move it to the right place. And then I like my exterior stone to face this way. This would be the inside. So I'm going to match this wall, match that wall with this wall, and that wall, and the last one, which is this. All right, let's backtrack, make sure I'm looking at the right way. No, every single one of them have to be flipped. So flip, flip, flip. All righty, and I join the element. I'm fine. So, and flip this one. Now I'm in good shape. Then I'm going to shuffle these things back and forth a little bit. Let's take a look at it in 3D. That's essentially what I've got. That taller section of my building, that looks like this. Now, I should have done the next section actually before I did all of this. Let's go back to my section, and essentially I'm going to plug my wall over here. So I'm going to go back to level 1 and pull my section temporarily, so I'm only looking, now see, so I'm only looking at the wall section and really limit my wall section to what I like to see, so it makes it a whole lot easier to remain focused. Even if I wanted to see this wall as well, I like to just stay focused with that wall and not see the area behind, because it makes me very confused when I look at it that way. So when I look at it this way, here now I can easily see edge to edge where my floor is going to be. All right. So I knew, let me just backtrack. Let me take this and move it to the right place, because it was supposed to be right here. Okay. So, there, and actually, they should be lower. Move from there to there. All right, that's where they should have been. And actually, they should have moved there to there. They should have been there. Okay, so that's my ceiling slash roof rafter. Okay, so now I'm going to compose my floor as well as my roof. I'm going to compose my floor as well as my roof. Let me make sure I didn't in the process change anything. I don't think I changed anything. The only thing I shuffled was in my cross section. I shuffled the red line sketches. So let's go back here. I shuffled some of these lines. I need to pull them back. So that, control that, needs to go from move from there to the middle or back to the business, and all of that needs to move back again. So I don't need to fuss about it because they're actually in okay shape. All right, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is actually put my floor as well as my roof. Rather than doing architecture floor this way, I rather compose my floor from a different way by component, by modeling. So what, and I'm going to explain to you why. So I'm going to go to my level 1, and I'm going to compose a floor that's extruded somewhat here, and I can easily modify it. So let's take a look at it and say component, modeling place. I'm going to go to module grouping of floor. I see A, B, C, D, E, F, floors, and say OK, and it's floor 1, and I say fine. And so I'm going to extrude it by basically creating a rectangle. So I can quickly do edging. Okay, so I'm going to use this edge for now, that edge, because it's easier for me to see those edges. And the last edge. All right, let's make sure that these edges are nice and clean. This is the one that wasn't so clean there, and this is another one that's not clean. Pull back a little bit so when it notifies me that I've done something wrong, I can actually see it. I check mark it. It's in great shape, so that's my floor. Notice I didn't fuss about this yet, okay? So I check it. All right, now I'm going to go look at my cross section, see where that made it. And I say, oops, two problems. One is too fat. The other one is not located in the right place. So I'm going to pick it, edit in place, pick it again, and then change its thickness. So I would like it to actually extrude from 0, starting from 0, but I like it to go negative 6 inches. Right? So let's see what happens. And it looks like it's in perfect spot. Okay? And check. Notice it's in the perfect spot. Where did I pick it up? 0 was my ground line or my top of my subfloor. And it's going negative 6, so it went perfect. Now, this way, it also went perfect because I aligned it with the interior. But let's say I didn't have it. I can easily yank it and align it, and then go back, and I say, oops, I don't have a line. So you can go back here, draw yourself a line over here, and if we had this line, it would have been easier. It recognizes that line. Notice it snaps right there. Perfect. So I'm in great shape. Now I'm going to go back and create my subfloor. But before I do that, I want to give this material some properties. So I'm going to edit in place. It was 6 inches, right? So I'm going to pick this guy and I'm going to edit extrusion. And it says go back to the floor plan, and I'm going to go back to the floor plan, not a big deal. I actually checked it, but now that I'm in phase 2 of it, you check it for once. In the phase 2, you change the material, you click over here, and you check it by category. So I'm going to check it, and I'm going to look for concrete. Concrete cast in place. Cast in place. And appearance is fine. this is fine, and I say okay.